I was told that 2024 had a very, very dry second half. I was told that the holiday season is pretty empty, one of the emptiest it's been in years. But man, oh man, when I look at the release schedule, there is so much I want to play. And yeah, it's more spread out than most years. It's not concentrated in November. But isn't that almost better? What's going on, guys and girls? It's GhostRobo, and today we're talking about the most anticipated games for the rest of the year. It is the summer doldrums right now. Not much is coming out. We got a Luigi's Mansion 2 port that's overpriced on Nintendo Switch, and some Elden Ring DLC that is too hard and time-consuming for me. But let me know in the comments down below what your most anticipated title is for the rest of the year. I'm going to go through a bunch of them, ones that I'm really looking forward to, and ones that I think, could deliver more fun than maybe we think they could. Okay, and I want to kick it off with some big hitters, some heavy titles that I think could end up being some of the best games of the year. We're going to start off with Metaphor ReFantazio. This might be my most anticipated game. It is very hard for me to get super into a 100-hour title. That takes a lot. The only game I've played for more than 100 hours since Evolve is Marvel Snap, which, that's a mobile game that you play in 3-minute chunks. So it's a lot adds up to a little, or a little adds up to a lot over time, something like that. I loved Persona 5. It was a JRPG that I let myself get into. It's a game that takes a really long time, and I just enjoyed it. I remember playing it on vacation years and years ago, and it was just such a nice, refresher at the end of the day, such a nice thing to sink into before I fell asleep, and I'm really looking forward to this new, strange, bizarre, but bold game from the Persona series heads. We've got the director Katsuro Hashino, character designer Shigenori Sojima, and composer Soji Mikura. They will be delivering something absolutely epic, and I don't doubt that Metaphor ReFantazio will be as good as Persona. Maybe it won't get as good of reviews because it doesn't have sort of the Persona branding on it, but this game coming out October 11th I think is going to be super sick, and it's on Xbox Series X and S. It's on PS5. I believe it's also on PS4. Some people might be bummed about that, but at the same time, it's very accessible. And these Atlas games are more about style and pizzazz than they are pure hardware power, so don't fret there. Let's also talk about Dragon Age Veilguard, which is coming out a random date in 2024. We don't know yet, but this game just entered my radar after being something I was actively avoiding. I did not like Dragon Age Inquisition, and I felt like BioWare, they've been off their game for a while now, haven't they? They've been really just misfiring, but it seems like, based on what they showed off this summer, and based on what the previews are saying, that, you know what? Freaking Veilguard might be them back on track. This might be BioWare back on track, making big, bold, huge, amazing, awesome, story-driven RPGs with great combat and great characters, and you never know. Maybe the new Mass Effect that's in development, maybe that will actually be good as well. One can hope, one can wish. I hope this gets a release date soon. This is a game that I would be worried about slipping to 2025, but the fact that they showed, I think it was hands-off. Was it hands-on? I think it was hands-off the preview, so, okay. I will say that this is a game that I would worry about slipping, but EA does need something big for the fall, and, Madden can't carry them all the way. I also am very excited for Black Myth Wukong, which sounds funny after I just trashed Elden Ring's DLC for being too hard and time-consuming, but I don't know. There's something so daunting about FromSoft, and especially Elden Ring, because it's a game that's been played, it's been beaten, it's been mastered, and it's a game that I just lost out on, frankly. Black Myth Wukong, on the other hand, is new. It is different. It is out in August, which is a weird time for a game, but a great time. And I hope that it's able to deliver a Dark Souls experience, but maybe not as, obtuse. I think it's cool that it's going with a Journey to the West storyline here. That's going to be very different than Elden Ring. And they do say that the game is mostly linear with some larger areas and then a bunch of bosses. Sounds pretty cool to me. My cat agrees, if you can hear him chirping in the background. I think that Frostpunk 2 is going to be great. That just also got delayed till September, so we'll wait a little bit longer for that. But also September is just jam-packed. September is the month to watch out for. You got Stalker 2, which I think has a chance to either be horrible or great. I'm not sure there's going to be an in-between with this game. It's been in development for a very long time. The first title is very well regarded, kind of a cult hit. But the first title was also very overwhelming to play. There's a lot that you had to manage, a lot that you had to do, and yeah, I hope that they're able to nail it. I think mechanically, it's got to feel good to shoot. It's got to feel good to move. That's what they need to do if they want to get this rocking and rolling. That is my hope, and that is what I'm counting on, because this would be a great September game, and it would be a great rebound for freaking Xbox. Like, they need something that is going to deliver for them, and something that is going to deliver in a big way. I don't know that Stalker 2 can pull massive numbers, but it could pull massive feels in terms of like good vibes that Xbox has something really cool on Game Pass. Astrobot is out the next day, which I'm going to get on PS5. That's my Mario stand-in, since we're not getting a big Mario title later this year. We're getting a Mario Party, which also is out, but Astrobot looks like it's going to be super fun. I'm curious if the hype of Astrobot is somewhat due to Sony fanboys. I say that quietly because it might be great. I have never been super into Astrobot. This one does look like the best one yet. They're kind of getting the budget to make a full game. I'm hoping that it's awesome, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't want to crown Astrobot like the Mario 3D counterpart for Sony until they're able to do this one. I think this is the one. Like, Astro's Playroom is kind of like a fun pack-in, right? But can they deliver something truly awesome in a full package? We'll see. I think Wild Bastards looks really good from Blue Manchu and Modus Games. This is the sequel to Void Bastards that came out a few years back. You get to assemble a gang and kind of do this roguelike shooter, which seems super cool. We've also got Zelda Echoes of Wisdom in September, which might be my most anticipated game. I think that one is going to be so good. Such a cool twist on the Zelda formula. It's going back 2D. They're allowing them to make a new 2D game in 2024, even after the extreme success of the open world 3D Zeldas. I think that's great. I think that's brilliant. Look how nice our game, Mario freaking Wonder, was when they allowed Nintendo to be kind of creative. They allowed Nintendo to get pretty cool there, and that was very, very strong. I liked that a lot. I was very happy and very proud of the fact that we got a very creative, very quirky, very unique Mario, and maybe this is kind of the equivalent for Zelda, and allows them to experiment and explore and craft unique, daring puzzles that we wouldn't have got if little Link was the main character, just slashing and spiraling with his sword. So I'm very pumped for that. I also am pumped for Mario Jamboree RPG, Jamboree. They sound so similar. I think that's going to be very exciting and very fun. Mario Party is always a great time, and it looks like they are really trying to up the stakes with this one, so I am excited for that. I'm also excited for Mario and Luigi Brothership. The Nintendo trifecta of new titles just seems like it's going to be great. September, October, November, back to back to back, and that will deliver a healthy holiday season on the Switch. Space Marine 2 is something that I hope I like. I feel like Space Marine 2 is like that game that it's like AA, but it's getting AAA hype. I saw they just canceled the beta to focus on launch. It is out pretty soon. That's also a September release, right? September 9th, yeah. So it's got a lot of competition. It's coming out right around Astrobot, right around Zelda, right around Stalker. Can it be more than just a fun aside? Can Saber and Focus deliver something that truly like knocks it out? I sure as heck hope so. I really do hope so. I don't want to see them be stuck in a position where they put out this game that everyone's been hyping for years and it ends up not delivering. Like, that would really, really stink. So fingers crossed that it can deliver. Fingers crossed that it is something, worth writing home about, if you will. We've got other smaller indie titles. I'm not going to really talk too much about those. Assassin's Creed Shadows is one I was very excited for when it first got announced. And then I saw gameplay at Summer Games Fest, or I guess Ubisoft's Forward, and I thought it looked so boring. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that was just one video, one look at the game, and maybe I was in a tired, salty mood. But it looked just like every other Assassin's Creed ever, and it didn't seem like it was doing anything awesome or different or great in a way that was going to really spice things up, which just disappointed me tremendously. Disappointed me in a huge way, and I did not feel great about. I do feel better about Lego Horizon Adventures, which I think is a fun aside. I don't think that's Game of the Year material, but I think that's going to be something that is fun and enjoyable and kind of like a cool game to play. So I'm looking forward to testing that out, especially on Switch. Getting a freaking Sony game on Switch is just something crazy. I do wonder if there'll be more games that kind of maybe creep in there, a few other titles. I didn't mention, everything. Obviously, there's Call of Duty, there's Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. We've got not much in December at all. There's Sonic X Shadows Generations. I'll probably give that a go. Some smaller games like we talked about with like UFO 50, but those are the main ones that I'm excited for. Let me know which of those titles I talked about you are most excited for, and which ones I didn't mention that you think I overlooked. Are there any games that you're absolutely skipping? Any games that you think like need to be played? Any that you just already have pre-ordered? I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. In the meantime, thanks so much everybody for watching and listening. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drink some hot chocolate, and until next time, we will see you all later.